Retro web design is making a comeback. Here's what designers need to know. There's something to be said about the view that contemporary web design has gotten a bit too homogeneous, a samey look of design by template. It's a bit austere, the same pastel colors, and a manic overutilization of sans serif modernist typefaces. Modern UX can learn from the 90s by bringing in quirk, sparkle, and playfulness without necessarily sacrificing quality. Moreover, nostalgia is a powerful emotion that can really help brands showcase their identity. In the 90s, almost anyone could be a designer. The 90s saw computers with better processors, sound cards, and color displays with graphical user interfaces coming into their own, and these became personal devices for entertainment and education. With wider internet adoption, computers became tools for self-expression, especially through intimately personal websites on a platform called GeoCities. This era has since come to symbolize a distinct digital aesthetic, marked by a unique combination of colors, fonts, animations, and textures that were amateurish, naive, proudly experimental, and interestingly, very engineering-oriented. Designs from this period offer valuable insights between quirky identity expression and technological innovation. For instance, the dancing baby or the under construction GIF. The aesthetic of the time, though revolutionary, can seem quite primitive and amateurish today. The 90s were a kind of in-between transitional era, where a more is more aesthetic reflected a moment in history when digital culture started to become more widely adopted. Because creators had to make do with such rudimentary computing power and scarce telecommunication bandwidth, some designs, even from today's perspective, can be robust. Elements like retro typefaces, textured buttons, backgrounds, and the vivid color palettes can easily be incorporated into modern design and create unique, engaging user experiences. For instance, let's take one of the 90s most popular websites, the Yahoo page. Here you see a quirky logo and brand name, buttons that exhibit skeuomorphism. The best example of skeuomorphism is Apple's calculator app, designed by none other than Steve Jobs himself. You also see columns and tables with an exposed HTML look, where almost all text is a clickable hyperlink. This look is still leveraged by text and information heavy platforms like Wikipedia or the Wiki. However, while powerful, these designs present issues to do with accessibility and legibility, especially a cluttered look. It can be said that the needle has swung too far to the other side. Eliminating quirky logo designs and buttons has resulted in sterile, semi-template look that I had mentioned earlier. So how does one incorporate retro features to freshen up a design? What better way to illustrate design than the websites of London's artisan sandwich shops? Let's take the example of Notting Hill's Secret Sandwich Shop website. You have a quirky logo and a spare utilitarian space, not similar to the GeoCities homepages of yore, but much cleaner and functional. Or take Max's Sandwich Shop near Finsbury Park. It's text-heavy and loaded with old-school emoticons. This gives it a real sense of character and gives you a sense of the people who run this place. The characteristics of 90s design are things like retro typography, skeuomorphism, bold color palette, quirky animation, and textured backgrounds. Remember, don't forget the design basics. When trying to break away from trends, always prioritize user experience, focus on negative space, information hierarchy, and reducing cognitive load. Create clear journeys while incorporating fun, engaging elements. Balance creativity with usability. Innovate, but always consider accessibility. Subscribe to LogRocket for more UX tips and tutorials.